Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and we've got what I'm absolutely confident is another fantastic puzzle for you. And one of the reasons why I think I'm feeling so confident is another incredibly looking puzzle from our friend Willpower. Now, you're going to see quite a few from Willpower on this channel, and I think it's just because he's now got sort of hit his swing where, as I understood it, he's releasing 2 or 3 of these a week. And they're all just looking fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to this one. Now, the title pretty much matches the name of this puzzle, which is Power Lifter. And here in this thumbnail, you can imagine almost like an alternate universe when Sleuth has decided, rather than become a detective, that being a power lifter is going to be the right thing. Somehow kept the fedora hat, but you can see the muscles there, obviously. The suit has been swapped for what looks like probably a leotard trousers, of course, the obligatory one, whenever you have sort of muscles popping out from everywhere. Maybe another future, perhaps. Let's take a look at the puzzle, though. That's what's important here. So we have powerlifting by Willpower. And, you know, his signature, I would say, move is having these incredibly detailed matchstick men. So you've got kind of a matchstick man in blue in there. You can see sort of the legs and lifting, what looks like an incredibly heavy weight. Powerlifting. Not sure what these cages are meant to be, but you can definitely see a power lifter in this puzzle. Well, let's take a look at the rule set. So we have, normal Sudoku rules apply. So that means the digits 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Dutch whispers. Numbers on the 2 red lines are at least 4 apart from their neighbor on the line. So you can see these are a Dutch whisper set. Very similar to German whispers, but clearly a very distinct language. But yeah, so these are going to have to be 4 apart. Let's give you an example. Maybe this side would be even better. So normally with German whispers line, you can say something such as, if this is a 7, these would be 1 and 2. And if that's a 1, you'd have to jump back up to something that is 6, 7, 8, or 9. That's not necessarily the case here. I can jump up to a 5. Yes, Dutch whispers lines can have a 5. And I'm going to actually reverse this. And that would be a totally valid example. Not with this black crop key dot. I tried to fix it, but clearly not. Where you end up with the series 1, 5, and 9, and you're almost no longer oscillating between low digits, high digits. There's a middling digit that's actually allowed on Dutch whispers line. So just keep that in mind. Although as I'm looking at this construction, I'm wondering if that's not entirely important today. We also have RENBAN 9, so numbers on the 3 blue lines. So that's 1 blue line. That's the second. I don't want to call this a line almost, but yep, and that's the third. These are all RENBAN lines. So that means that there is a set of consecutive numbers in any order. I think if I try and show this example with any of them, it will almost start solving the puzzle. But let's go with this one, for example. This is a 7-cell RENBAN line. And because it's a 7-cell RENBAN line, if I put a 1 on here, aside from the fact this is a white crop key dot and that's a 2, it means that the rest of these digits are the numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 in any order. I mean, obviously I didn't have to put the 2 in there. I could have done 2 and this could be 1 or 3. So that's the part to stress about it, is it doesn't have to be in a specific order. It just needs to be all the numbers are consecutive along these 7. So that could have been 1 to 7, that could be 2 to 8, or it could be 3 to 9. Right. Does it explain? It explains the cages next. So peppered throughout, we have numbers in cages summed to the number in the top left corner of the cage, and numbers do not repeat in the cages. So you've got an example here of a 15 cage, another 2 cells that's an example of a 15 or a 14 or a 5, etc., etc. And I think lastly, not lastly actually, we've got a next. So we next have the crop key dots, which I've touched on a few times. Let's take these sets here, the white crop key dots, so that just means that they are 1 apart. So for example, if I have a 5 in the middle, I know that these two on either end are 4 or 6, because it's sort of, it has to be 1 away from this digit. And because it happens to be in the middle, then the two surrounding possibilities are going to be on either side, given they have to be unique. They have to be unique, but just because they're in the same row, I'm confusing you probably here. Black crop key dot, so down here, let's go with a better example. So if that's a 2, this has to be in a ratio of 1 to 2 away. That might be a 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Or it could be a 4. 2 times 2 is 4. And that would be a black crop key dot set. Lastly, we have an X, which is these two cells in here, and it just says that these two sum up to 10. Now, important, negative constraints do not apply, and Will is making that clear. So there may be other white crop key dots in here. They're just not labeled. And similarly for all the X's, all the black crop key dots. So don't worry about negative constraints. Well, there's plenty of rules, plenty of constraints, a beautiful construction, and according to Willpower, more than enough for us to solve it with 0 digits in the grid. Now, if you feel like lifting along with this power lifter, looks like this power lifter is, lifting, I'm going to call it pounds. 40 pounds, 40 pounds, 80 pounds in total. I'm sure you've got it. Link will be in the description down below, as per usual. And with that said, let me restart the clock and see how I get on. So I think the 6 and 5s, 15 and 14 are actually entirely solvable. So I'm just going to start with the 6, and I want to show you something. If I go with 1 and 4, I've broken the puzzle. So typically in a 5 cage, it's either 1 or 4 or 2 or 3. And a 6 cage is either 1 and 5 or 2 and 4. Now you can see if I pick 1-4 pair, I've destroyed both 6 pairs because I've taken the 1, so 1-5 is not allowed. I've taken the 4, the 2-4 is not allowed. There is no option now for the 6. So this has to be 2-3, eliminating the 2-4 option from the 6, and now this has to be 1-5. Now, the other reason that the 15 and 14 caught my eye, so they're all in the same box, implying that there are 4 unique digits that add up to 29. Now, the maximum you can make 4 digits add up to is 30, which would be 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, this is 1 less, so the only digit that you can decrease would be the 6 in here, and it'll be 5, 7, 8, and 9 to get to 29. So 5 cannot be in a 15 cage, it's in here alongside a 9, and this would be the 7 and 8, and no 6s today. We also have a RENBAN line that is 8 cells long. There's a cell in the middle that is either 1 or 9. I've already placed the 9, so this has to be the 1. 9, 8, and 7. 7 and 8 are taken. That's the 5. That's the 9. 5 could be 4, 3 or 6, 7. No, it can't be because the 7, 8 is taken. That's 4 and 3. And in here we have a 2, 6 pair. I mean, look at this. We're just cracking on. 5 digits in 2 minutes and tons of pencil marks. So this could be 9, 6 this way. Not sure how useful this is, or 7, 8. 1, 2. Notice the 3 here can't be placed there. There's a 3 in there with a 4. And now we've got a 7, 8, 9 triplet to basically finish row 1. Not sure pencil marking the rest is going to be helpful at this point, but I think that's an immense amount of program in the top 3 boxes. I'm looking at the next set now. So how long are these? That's 6 cells, 7, 8. We have 8 cells that add up to 40. Now, if you add the numbers 1 to 9, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you will get to 45. Now, what we have here is 8 cells that's missing 1 digit from 1 to 9 that add up to 40. So 40, 45, take away the 40. These cells are missing a 5. And purely by symmetry here, these cells are also missing a 5. Now take a look at where the missing 5 goes in row 6. It can only be in here, surrounded by kind of the 4, 6 example I actually created up here, but they're in there. Now remember the confusing thing about Dutch lines compared to German whispers lines is that they can have a 5 on it and break that pattern off with low digit, high digit. Well, we don't actually have to worry about it today because there are no 5s on this Dutch whispers line. So one of these is a 4, one of these is a 6. I'm going to go and color these now. And they're going to oscillate between purple and orange. So these are orange. These are also orange. These are purple. Sorry, and this one, as are these. Look at that. Now I'm always interested when I have a black Kropke dot that is, essentially switching polarity. Because if you think about black Kropke dots, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. 1 is not interesting because 1 and 2 would be the same color. 2 is not interesting. 2 and anything, 2 and 4, 2 and 1 would be the same color. So really this is either a 3, 6 or 4, 8. But I don't think I'm just going to pencil mark it as this. I want to pay attention to what these could be. So if this is a 4, that means this is low, and therefore that would be a 3, and that would be a 6. No other way would work. Now if this is a 6, that means this is high, and this would be the 8, and that would be the 4. But it's also on a Dutch whispers line. They need to be more than 4 apart, 4 or more apart. 3 and 6 don't qualify, surely. They're only 3 apart. So this actually is an 8. This is a 4. And we can color them now. I'll go for red for high, as in 6, 7, 8, or 9. And blue for low, as in 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is in fact 4. This is in fact 6. These, normally on German whispers line, this would already immediately fix a 1 or 2. Sorry, a 1 immediately next to the 6, but 2 is actually appropriate here next to the 6. 4, this can only be 9 because you can have an 8 or a 9 next to it. We place the 8, this is a 9. 9 unfortunately gives us a whole bunch of options. 1, 2, and 3. Followed by, remember these are unique, we already placed 6, 8, and 9. This has to be 7. And this is 1 or 2, 4 away from 7, or 3, actually, in fact. That's a shame. So we don't know where the 3 goes. Actually, yeah, we don't know where the 3 goes. This could be the 3, this could be the 3, and none of it will be a problem. Right, 4 away, 8 is already placed. This is a 9, this is a 1. There we go. This is a 2, 2, 2. Again, we don't necessarily know. Oh yeah, we do. That's the 3, that's the 1. And to finish this off, we need a 7 for the row. Now we have a 1. Maybe the other way to do it. 2, 3. And 6, 8. Excellent. 7 is looking up here. This is not a 7, 8 pair. This is a 9, 6 pair. And we actually know the order of this, thanks to some earlier digit placements. Just having a look kind of what's easiest next. And I think I'm going to take a look at row 5, but I'm actually tempted to look at this white Kropke pair first, because I think it's more restricted than you may think. So 7 means there is a 7 in here, but 7 and 8 tells us the 7 is in there. Reason I explain that is, let me try that. Let me try and place the 7. It's saying this is 6 or 8. Well, 6 is placed, 8 can't be in here. Obviously the 7 couldn't have been here because of the 7-8 pair. So the 7 is actually placed. 8's not allowed in here. I could do presumably 8, 9. I think that's okay. So that could be 8. That could be 9. And then 4, 5, and 6 means this could be 1, 2, or 3 in the following order. The 1 would be here, the 2 would be there, or the 3 would be here, and the 2 would be there. So it's, you know, I wanted to say somewhat restricted, but not that restricted after all. So I'm not sure how useful this was, if I'm honest. I'm kind of taking a look at row 5, if row 5 will help us disambiguate this. I'm very tempted to say it will. Maybe if I just vocalize what I'm thinking, that will make a bit more sense. Sorry, I've just quote a fairly obvious placement. We've got 3, 4 in here, meaning there's no 4 in there. We need a 4 on row 2, that's the 4. And now to finish off this line, we need 5, 7, and 8, with definitely a 5 in here. This is not an 8 because we've got a 6, 8 pair looking into it. Excuse the distraction, it happens way too easily. So we've already placed 4, 5, 6, and 7. By the way, I'm just ignoring this RENBAN line in box 5. I don't think it's helping us at all. This 6 is telling us this is a 2, this is a 6. We just need to basically think around what else is missing in the cage. Right, got it. This 2, 3, I need, whatever this cell is, has to be up here. Because we don't have 2 or 3 in row 6. It's going to have to be in row 4. If I put both 2 and 3 in here, by placing 9 and 8, I'm left with 1, 2, and... In fact, this one is telling me this was a 1 anyway. Yeah, I should just do some normal Sudoku. This 2 must be this 2, that's the 3. And now we have 8, 9, and 3. 3, 8, 9. That's not an 8 anymore, that's the 6. That's the 8. Can probably tidy up this a little bit. Yes, this is not a 9, this is not a 3. Made that look way harder than it should have been. Now we need, I'm going to say a 4 and 5 to complete the row. That's the 4 because of this 4. That's the 5. Let's finish the boxes. We've got 4, which can only be in here. 6 and 9, which I don't think we can place just yet. It's not, can't disambiguate them. We also now need a 3, 5, and 8. I don't think we can disambiguate them, but we can tidy them up. That's not 3, that's not 8. And that's all we're really going to be able to do at this point. Is it helpful, really? I know it's 1, 2 with a 7, 8. We know we've placed 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We need 6 and 9 with a 7, 8. I'm not sure pencil marking this is going to help that much. Let's take a look. Actually 7, 8, and that's a 9. 9, not a 0. That's not a 9. We can pencil mark these. That's 2, 5, and 6. I am actually going to take a look at that last RENBAN line. I think that's the last remaining clue to help us just really just open up this puzzle. So we've placed 1, 2, this could be 3 or 8. Yep, given 4, 5, 6, and 7 and 9. And this is a 1, 3 or 8, or 4. Look at that, 4, 3, 8. That's a 1. 4 is definitely on here. 2, 5, and 6. So I want to think about this RENBAN line for a moment. Notice there is no 9 in here, or an 8, that's 3 or 7. So notice that it seems highly unlikely, in fact it's definite, we do not have a 9 on this RENBAN line. There's no 9 in the box. Because of these two 9s, there's no 9s in here, there's no 9. So we need to have a 2. Now the question is it 2 to 8 or 1 to 7? And I'm going to say, I think let's use these white crop kiddos because it's almost resolved, almost. So this 3 can't be here because this is, it have to have a 2 or a 4 next to it, neither of which is allowed. That's not a 3. If it's a 4, it could be 3, not a 5. If it's an 8, it could be 7, not a 9. Look at that, 3, 7 pair means that's not a 3. We need both the 4 and 8 on the RENBAN line. We've placed them. That's now a 3, that's an 8. These are not 8. We place 3, 7, 4, and 8. We still need, the 8 tells us there is no 1 on here. We need 2, 5, and 6. So incredibly, this is also 2, 5, and 6. Clearly the 2s are not what's joining them here. That's 5, 6 pair. That's not a 5, 6 pair. That's a 2. That's not a 2. That's the 3, 7. This 3, 7 is different from this 3, 7. They're on the same RENBAN line. They're both looking at this cell. That's the 9. Wow, beautiful puzzle. I'm blind. This 3, 7 is resolved. It's looking at it for a while. And I suspect we should be towards the home stretch at this point, surely. Can I resolve any of these? 3, 4, 7, 8. Doesn't seem like any of them are problematic, are they? Oh yeah, of course, this 7 means this is now a 3, 4, and an 8. I kind of don't care what the 5, 6s are. We need another 5, 6. This 5, 6 is different, which means this is the same 5, 6. So unfortunately, also I do need another 2. Well, it's not in here. That's the 2. That's the other 5, 6. It's in fact a 6 because of this 5. That's a 5, 6, and 5. This 6 is looking up here. That's a 9 and a 6. I think we've got this now. We've got, if I remember correctly, it was 6 and 9 and 7 and 8. Look at these two 6s giving us a freebie. Another freebie with a 9. This is a 7, 8. And what do we need in here? A 1, I believe, to finish this off. Oh, surely, yeah, this 1 and 5 is resolved. This 2 and 3 is resolved. I just needed to pay a bit of attention as usual. What do we need in here? We need a 7, 2. I think it's a 2 and a 7. We need an 8 and a 5. We know the order of these. That's the 5, that's the 8. We need a 1 now. So in here, we need a 4. It's one of these, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clearly we know what this is. This is a 7. It's looking up here at this 5, 7 pair. That's not a 5. That's the loose 7, 8 that we keep running into, which means this is a 7, 8 of some sort. Oh yeah, this 5, that's a 3. That's not 3. That's not 5 either. That's the 8. That's the 5. Yeah, this is just 9, 4, kind of just all unwinding now, beautifully so. 8 gives us a 7, and 8, and 7, and 8, and 7, and 4 and 3 I'm sure are resolved. Yes, they are. We need a 1, we need a 2, and if I've not made any mistakes, an 8 to finish today's puzzle. A fabulous puzzle, Willpower. I mean, they all are. They absolutely all are, and this is just true to form. Phenomenal puzzle. So I mean, this sort of break-in, relatively easy, but I love the fact that you've got this 8-cell RENBAN line forcing you to pick 1 or 9. These cages telling you that the 9 is on the RENBAN, that's the 1. The 4, 5, 6 play in here with the 40 cages, and then using the black crop key dot to basically resolve the polarity of these Dutch lines that almost play like German whispers because there's no 5 in them anywhere. It's just fantastic construction. And then obviously the legs are the way to basically solve the bottom 3 boxes. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's puzzle as much as I have, even half as much as I have. I think that would just mean it was an absolutely fantastic puzzle. Thank you for the puzzle, Willpower. Thank you for watching the video, and see you back for the next one. Bye for now.